Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Tonight, we're gonna let it rain. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna let it rain.
Hey guys, and welcome in. Welcome into tonight's live. Hopefully you guys are having a great day or great evening, great Tuesday. It is September the 30th. We're back for round 2. We were here earlier, so if you caught that live, you're an MVP right now. But if you didn't, that's okay. You're here for this one. You're here for this one. So welcome in. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. It's kind of a different crowd at night, a little bit. It's a little different. It's a little different. I love it. See, you never know who you're going to catch when you go live. Everybody's from all over the world. But welcome in. It's good to see everybody. If you're new to the channel, if you haven't been here before, or you're watching on the replay and you stumbled across my channel, my name is Tanya, or Titanium Built. Thank you for spending your evening with me, or spending a little bit of your day whenever you're watching this. So I know the last day of September. Sorry, I have this stuff in my hair, and it's like making an itch for some reason, like this hairspray. But yeah, it's the last day of September, and where did September go? I was thinking about that right before the live. I was thinking this is my last day, my last day of my 30s in the month of September. I was being that little with it. I was like going to that bottom of it. I was like, that's sad, but you'll never be as young as you are right now ever again. So, hey, baby girl, how are you? Hola. But yeah, it is the last day of September. I can't believe it. I can't not believe it. Wow. Kara, it's because it's almost my birthday. You're going to be hearing that. You'll be hearing it till after my birthday, probably till Christmas. Probably no, Vincent has the month of December. He's a December baby. So, hey, Crime Kitty. Hey, Jennifer. How you doing? Hey, Kitsy Cats. Kitsy Cats was there today. Hey, Lenora. I'm going slow, I know. I'm reading everyone's chat. Hey, Laura. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Mr. Rosebud. Look at all this. The regular visitors. My eyes been burning at night too. My eyes were not burning today for the live. Maybe it's something in here. Oh, you've had a headache. Oh no. Headaches are the worst. I have Advil sitting on my desk actually right there just in case I ever get a headache because I get them bad. I get Botox for migraines. I used to get them like more than half the month. Tried to fight you over a jet ski. Oh my good golly. Should have had me with you. You would have got the jet ski and I would have kicked his butt. Okay, I'm going to the bottom. Hey, Cupcakes. Cupcakes with Sprinkles. That's just the sweetest name. I mean, like, who could be mad at that name? Hey, Tracy. Hey, PKC. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to talk about Kohbergs tonight. I know, yeah, where is Ashley? She usually loves a good Kohberger discussion. Hey, DM. Maybe she's talking to her friend. She said she had a friend. How dare her? How dare her have a friend, right? But so tonight, let me just say welcome back to the channel. Hello, everyone. Tonight we're going to be diving back into the fascinating, I think, but controversial topic, and it's the Hare Psychopathy test. So we're going to go, or checklist. We're going to go over that. We're going to see, what our boy Bryan Kohberger ranks on the scale of 1 to 22. But if you don't know, I think y'all know he is convicted now. He's not just accused; he is convicted of 4 murders in Idaho, college students, and 1 count of burglary. So he's going to be in the prison system for the rest of his natural born life. So, but there are people still riding hard for him on the X. I got on X today and I could not believe what I was seeing. I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I keep the pictures? It was insanity. Let me see if I can find them. Hey, Machichi. And I wasn't even looking for them. They just happen, you think about something and it comes up, Let me see if I've put his name in. It was like somebody had one of those, like when you see in old detective shows where they have like the string going from the person to the other person to this person to that location. It was like that. And it was, I don't know who made it, but I was like, what? Oh, right here. Look at this. Like, y'all are going to, and there was more pictures than this. This is just the one that I can find right now. But look at this. Are we okay? Are we okay out there? I don't. Who made this? I wonder who made this. I mean, someone's going to come in and be like, that's my work right there. That's my handiwork. But I saw a couple more and I was just like, oh my gosh. I was going to ask the person because I thought that's who made it, like who posted it, but it wasn't. Good thanks. I was going to ask them if they were okay. Like, are you guys okay? Seriously. So, we did go over this before. We were going into this like I think it was last week, so I'm sorry it took me a minute before we got back to it, but we went over his like Tapatalk like post. What else did we go over? We went over some of his pictures. We went over his time in prison. The new video that came out, we just went over that. I'm trying to think of what else. I know that we went over some more stuff when it had to do with his psychological traits. But tonight we're going to hear about like what a psychopath is, just in case you guys don't know. Some people don't. Some people don't. And we're going to hear from Dr. Grande first because he made a video on this 7 years ago. And I didn't even know it until earlier tonight. I was like, really? So I clicked out of a couple other videos because I was like, I'd rather hear from him. And then I went through, and what I did was I went through each question and I wrote out what it was and I wrote out the definition. So just in case somebody's like, I'm not sure what like guildness means, it's okay. I got you. I got you. You don't even have to ask me. We're gonna go over it. Hey, Ozzy. And also, before we begin, let me just be crystal clear. This is not a medical or a psychological diagnosis. I'm not getting Bryan off the hook with anything. No, I'm just not a psychologist. And none of this is meant to be taken as fact about Bryan Kohberger. We're just, speculating, commentating, doing one of those things. Doing what other people do, So we'll go over this. We'll listen to this, and then we'll. I didn't even get all the way into it, and then we'll go from here. And I might interrupt him a little bit, so that way it's fair use. But usually, Dr. Grande don't mind too much if you use this stuff, as long as you drop his link in the chat.
Hello, this is Dr. Grande.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What is
and if you're not subscribed to Dr. Grande, I'm going to drop his video in the chat. Make sure you go and subscribe. He's very smart and he's very monotoned. And I like that about him.
Psychopathy. If you find this video to be interesting or helpful, please like it and subscribe to my channel. That way you won't miss anything new. Now, when we talk about psychopathy, a lot of times we think of the diagnosis that we see in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, antisocial personality disorder. Now, these two constructs, psychopathy and antisocial personality disorder, are similar, and some would argue they're really the same thing, but I usually think of them as distinct, and I think the research supports this perspective fairly well. So we could think of psychopathy as having all the characteristics we would expect to see with antisocial personality disorder, plus characteristics from other domains, specifically interpersonal and affective domains. So in order to describe psychopathy, I'm going to compare it a bit to antisocial personality disorder. I'm also going to review the Psychopathy Checklist revised as another way of kind of explaining the differences we see with psychopathy. And I'm going to use the 5-factor model. I'm going to describe the personality profile from the 5-factor model that we see associated with psychopathy. So with these 3 different angles that I'm looking at with psychopathy, I hope this subject matter becomes more clear. So I'll start with antisocial personality disorder. Now, to understand antisocial personality disorder, of course, we look in the DSM. We see that there are 7 symptom criteria and then 3 other criteria. So of the 7 symptom criteria, 3 would have to be met. So here we see violating social norms, lying, impulsivity, irritability and aggression, disregarding other safety, irresponsibility, and lack of remorse. Those are the 7 symptom criteria, and they would have to be present since the age of 15. Then we have the other criteria I mentioned. An individual has to be 18 years or older, evidence of conduct disorder.
He goes into it a little more in detail than this other lady that we're going to listen to. So if he kind of confuses you, don't worry. We're going to listen to another lady too. Her name's Judy. You'll know her when you see her. I think you guys will.
Disorder would have had to have been present before the age of 15. And the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder can't occur exclusively during the course of schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. So we can see from this definition of antisocial personality disorder, it would be hard to conceptualize a presentation of psychopathy that didn't also qualify as antisocial personality disorder. And in fact, this is how we usually think of it. We think of psychopathy as a subset of antisocial personality disorder, so that almost all of individuals who had psychopathy would qualify for antisocial personality disorder, and a number of individuals with antisocial personality disorder would qualify for psychopathy, but not all of them. A number of the studies on antisocial personality disorder and psychopathy look at male criminal offenders in the prison population. And here we see that around 70 to 80% of those individuals qualify for a diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder, but only about 15 to 25% could be classified as having psychopathy. So with this idea that almost all individuals with psychopathy would qualify for antisocial personality disorder, where would the possible exceptions be? Are there any presentations of psychopathy that would not align with antisocial personality disorder? Well, when looking at the 7 symptom criteria for antisocial personality disorder, it's difficult to imagine an instance of psychopathy that would not at least meet 3 of those 7 symptom criteria. I suppose it's possible. Usually where we see the exceptions would be around the other criteria with antisocial personality disorder. For example, with psychopathy, there's no rule about being 18 years or older. Symptoms of conduct disorder would not have to have been present before the age of 15. And there's no rule specifically about schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. Even still, with these possible exceptions and the possible exceptions we could see around the symptom criteria, we usually don't think there would be many exceptions at all. So mostly everybody who would be classified as having psychopathy would also qualify for antisocial personality disorder. So what are these extra characteristics that we would see with psychopathy that we wouldn't necessarily see with antisocial personality disorder? Well, to answer this question, I'm going to take a look at this second way of describing psychopathy, and that's to review some of the features of a very popular instrument used to measure psychopathy, the Psychopathy Checklist revised. Now, this instrument is a psychometric instrument, and it has 4 facets. Facet 1 is interpersonal. Facet 2.
I thought he was going to dumb this down for us, but he's kind of making a little, like, I feel like he's making it more complicated than what it needs to be, but we'll get through it. We like Dr. Grande. Dr. Grande.
Affective.
You have a
Facet
new
3
video?
is lifestyle, and facet 4, antisocial. So if we look at facet 1, that's interpersonal, we see certain characteristics here that we would normally associate with psychopathy, including superficial charm, pathological lying, grandiosity, and being manipulative. So if we look at just this interpersonal facet from the PCL-R, we see that really only the pathological lying has overlap with the definition of antisocial personality disorder in the DSM. Now looking at facet 2, affective, we see characteristics like callousness, lack of remorse, shallow affect, and failure to accept responsibility. So here, of course, we see lack of remorse lines up with one of the symptom criterion in the definition for antisocial personality disorder. Now, with factor 3, this is lifestyle, and here we see irresponsibility, impulsivity, a need for stimulation, a lack of realistic goals, and what's referred to as a parasitic lifestyle. So here we see overlap with antisocial personality disorder in the area of irresponsibility and impulsivity. Facet 4 is antisocial. So here we see characteristics like early behavioral problems, poor behavioral control, and juvenile delinquency. So this facet lines up fairly well with the definition of antisocial personality disorder. Now, the last perspective I'll use here to describe psychopathy is the 5-factor model of personality. And we remember these big 5 traits through the acronym OCEAN: openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion,
Oh yeah,
agreeableness,
I'll remember
and
that.
neuroticism. So each of these 5 traits also contains 6 facets. And it's at the facet level that we can really understand someone's personality. So everyone has personality characteristics. The 5-factor model is just one way of measuring those characteristics. And we see a particular 5-factor model profile that aligns fairly well with psychopathy. But that doesn't mean that everybody who has psychopathy would have that profile, and it doesn't mean that everybody with that profile would have psychopathy. So I'll start here with openness to experience. Interestingly, openness to experience really doesn't seem to have a relationship with psychopathy, and it's the only trait in the 5-factor model that doesn't. So next we move to conscientiousness. Now, this one does have a particularly strong relationship with psychopathy. Now, again, each of the traits would have 6 facets. All the 6 facets of conscientiousness tend to be lower in individuals who have psychopathy. So the 6 facets of conscientiousness are competence, order, dutifulness, achievement striving, self-discipline, and deliberation. So again, all those scores would tend to be lower. Now, with extroversion, we only see 2 facets related to psychopathy: warmth and assertiveness. We see lower scores of warmth associated with psychopathy and higher levels of assertiveness. Now, with Agreeableness, we have kind of the same situation we saw with conscientiousness. All the facets are involved, and all of them tend to have lower scores. So lower levels of trust, straightforwardness, altruism, compliance, modesty, and a facet referred to as tender-mindedness. So that brings us to the last trait, neuroticism. And here again, just like with extroversion, only two of the facets are involved. We see differences with anxiety and anger. Lower levels of anxiety and higher levels of anger are associated with psychopathy.
Okay. Well, wow. I thought he was going to break. I thought he was going to break that down a little better for us, but yeah, he didn't. Dr. Grande, man, when was that? 7 years ago, I think. I mean, like, listening to him now is, I don't know, it's not completely different, but it is. Like, I feel like he dumbs it down for me now. Yeah, he's definitely with Ben Stein level. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. So, I'm sorry. At least I can say when I'm wrong, because I was just like, man, I really wanted an easy explanation for you guys, and I thought for sure Dr. Grande is going to dumb it down for me. Me neither, baby girl. It's okay. Neither did I. I have another video, but it's not near as, maybe it's because she's not like monotoned or something, but I can't think of her name. Let me see if it'll say it. Of course, it doesn't say it right here. But I think her name's Judy something, but she is on a lot of the different news stations and stuff. That's where I've seen her before. So we'll listen to her. She's 6 minutes. If it bores you guys, let me know and we'll change it. And then I'll talk. And then you can hear me talk. And then we can go on with the test part. But yeah, my goodness. Okay, so like I said, not a professional evaluation for Bryan Kohberger, but we're just taking this test for him just because he's not here to take it himself. We want to just help him out. But this is going to be the Hare Psychopathy Checklist. It's actually checklist. It's revised, but it's the PCL-R, and it was developed by Robert Hare. It's a 22-item checklist with each item being scored from a 0 to a 2. And we're going to go through it. And when we do, I'll have you guys put a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, because there's 3 different ways you can answer the questions. So, okay. Yeah, that's what it is too. And like whenever we actually go over the Hare test, I have like all the definitions for you guys for like anything you guys need. So for the checklist part. So that'll be a little bit easier for us too. Okay. And don't forget to hit the like. I'm gonna put this I just put Dr. Grande's link in there. And if you didn't get it and you want to look him up later, you're like, oh, it's Dr. Grande with an E, Grande, like they spell it Grande normally. Okay. And then this is the link for the next video. Just kind of put it in there for you guys. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button. And yeah, we're past that one. So maybe this one won't be as bad. I'd probably like even speed it up a little bit right there.
Can you explain what that is and how it relates to
I'll go back a little bit.
Absolutely.
Personality types. And in this video, we're specifically talking about psychopathy. Can you explain what that is and how it relates to the dark triad?
Absolutely. Psychopathy is a constellation of traits, but the most notable ones are a person who lacks empathy and will do anything to get their own goals met, no matter how many people it hurts or how many bridges they burn. This is an individual who generally doesn't live by society's expectations, don't really care about norms and conventions, and usually not rules and laws either, believe that they are special and can circumvent the law. Usually psychopaths have a real difficult time settling down, having consistent and long relationships, or staying at a job for very long. They're always on the move. And they're individuals who tend to be very callous and don't seem to have a deep connection to other human beings. It's thought to be the darkest of the dark triad traits because generally a person who has a high psychopath score on a psychopath test will do more damage to people in the world than people who are called high max, high Machiavellianism trait, or high narcissist traits. So it is the one that essentially is the most predictive of the most negative outcomes associated with the dark triad.
And when you say psychopathy, are we talking about antisocial personality disorder?
Psychopathy and antisocial personality disorder are not quite the same. Antisocial personality disorder is a diagnosis in the DSM, whereas psychopath is a trait or a dimension that has some associations and correlations with antisocial personality disorder, but is sort of its own thing that is not a diagnosis and rather thought of as a trait dimension. So ways to measure psychopathy, for example, are with the Hare Psychopathy test. That one is very famous and the most utilized to capture this trait. But somebody could have the traits and not have antisocial personality disorder. Most people who have antisocial personality disorder, though, will meet some criteria for the psychopath traits.
Are psychopaths born that way, or are they raised and influenced by their environment?
It's a really great question. I feel like in colloquial conversation, people want to have that very clearly delineated somehow. Like I've heard people say, well, are psychopaths more like they're made? And then sociopaths they're born that way. And I don't think it's that clear. I think that in general, the research will show that it's a combination of environmental and possibly familial or genetic factors. So certainly we've seen some brain abnormalities in individuals who have psychopathic traits. For example, they have frontal lobe differences where their frontal lobe seems to be less active than the average individual. And that is the part of your brain that focuses on decision making and higher order functions and manages impulse control. And all of these aspects are impaired in individuals who have psychopathy. But also, you've seen examples of people who might have sort of these brain differences, but then they were raised in loving environments where there were a lot of pro-social models around, people teaching them what's right and what's wrong and how to behave in society and what's really helpful to other people and why they should care about that. And those individuals don't really go on to wreak havoc in their communities. They actually tend to be quite productive, but every once in a while they can sort of have this moment where they have to be reminded, hey, that wasn't very empathetic. And they're like, oh, okay. But overall, they function very well in society. But individuals who then are exposed to abusive households, to negative consequences and environments, especially when they're young, then they tend to develop their psychopathic trait even further. And those are the individuals that you see that have negative impact to their communities.
Yeah. When can we start to see the signs of psychopathy?
You can start to see the signs of psychopathy at a pretty young age. Even when the person is a child, they start to show that lack of empathy, sometimes in their cruelty to animals or cruelty to other children. They also tend not to really understand consequences. And sometimes they may even laugh at the face of a consequence. So instead of feeling bad about being punished, for example, feeling bad about being grounded, they just laugh in the face of that and they run away anyway, for example.
I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did. I think it's because it reminds me of a little girl that I grew up with, and she could be.
They still leave the house. They don't come back for 3 weeks. Early alcohol and drug abuse, that's not an exclusive predictor, but it is one of the predictors of further psychopathy traits as an adult.
Dr. Judy, any final words on this really interesting topic of psychopathy?
Well, I think oftentimes
she said, like, doing like drinking and doing drugs while you're younger could aspirate, I guess.
The main question I get from people is, oh my gosh, is my sister a psychopath? Is my husband a psychopath? Is my teacher a psychopath? You start to want to diagnose everybody with this trait. And I would say, slow down. The Hare Psychopathy Checklist, for example, actually captures 21 traits within this concept of psychopathy. So just one or two things doesn't mean that the person is a psychopath. Also, just because a person has psychopathic traits doesn't mean that they're going to harm you or be a complete menace to society. It really does depend on a number of factors. So try not to jump to too many conclusions. So just like not self-diagnosing people with clinical conditions, let's not diagnose somebody with this trait and start using that as a name calling in your next argument with a loved one.
Yeah. If you have an interest to learn more about
you're a psychopath,
antisocial personality disorder, or any other mental health conditions and topics.
Oh, I thought he was going to ask her a question. Okay. So, what do you say? Did mother ever take BK to a doctor? It seems to me that she just protected him. No doubt that he was a problem. Yeah, no, I was just going to say that. I think that his parents more like babied him in a way. You know, I mean, I think that when he stole his cell phone when he was 16 from his sister, right? And I've said this, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to say I'm 99.99999% sure that Bryan had done a lot more things prior to him stealing the phone and his dad calling the cops, right? Your parents are going to call the cops on you on the first time that you do something, right? They usually are. I don't know. None of my friends' parents or none of my parents wouldn't have. I mean, if I messed up and I stole my brother's cell phone, I would never do that. But let's say I did. I feel like they would sit me down. Or let's say I did something before that. They would sit me down before they would call the cops. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have had to have, this would have had to been like my 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th time of doing something. Because some parents will let it go for a long time before they want, because they don't want to call the cops on their kid. Who wants to call their cops on their kid? Nobody. Especially in the gated community, right? Having them rolling in. Oh, that wouldn't be good. So, they're going to the Kohbergers again. Wouldn't look good. So I think that he had done things before that. Just my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not saying anything like terrible. I'm saying, I don't think he did. I maybe we'll find out about things later. Hope nobody was missing any animals around there, but he wouldn't even have to go grab someone's animal, from their house because he lives in the Poconos. I mean, there's deer and everything out there. There's all kinds of stuff. If he really wanted to do that and not be caught, I don't know. Hey, Christy. Yes, people can be, diagnosed as a psychopath and, live a fulfilled life. I think with every diagnosis, a lot of diagnoses anyway, you just have to structure your life around them a little more and just have a schedule and stuff set out. And let me know if my volume is too low for you guys, because I think I turned it down a little bit today. So, okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show, this is the test. So this is what it looks like. And you just score your answers at the bottom. So whenever we get to the test, which we're going to get to it now, but for like the first question, I'm going to ask you guys, if you think this, we're going to go over to this Canva chart that I made that tells us what each of these mean, each section. So whenever we're done reading the definition of it, then you guys can put in a 1 if you think it's definitely present, a 2 if you think it's possibly present, and then a 3 if you think it's definitely absent. And then we'll, I'll stop it, and then we'll go to the next question. We should have got a timer. Should we do a timer for each one? I was going to buy this little cute timer. I should have bought that thing. That would come in real handy right now because I don't even know where my timer is. Because I would say we could do a timer with 30 seconds each question. Or a stopwatch. I guess we just do a timer. Wait, I was on the minutes. Okay, that wouldn't have been good. We would have been sitting here for a while. Oh, wow. Here I said that. Okay. So, yeah, I'll go over it again. Yeah. So, okay. So there's 22 questions in this. And basically what I'm going to do is we're going to actually go over here. I'm not going to share it like I normally do. Actually, I'll just keep it like this. That way we can go back and forth through the tabs. But at the see here, you say it says Hare Psychopathy Checklist. I'll go through the first and we'll go through what it means. And then I'll give you guys 30 seconds after I read it and everything. And then I'll give you 30 seconds to put, a 1, a 2, or a 3 in the chat. If you guys think, and I'll go over to this part too, so you can read it. But if you think it's definitely present, 2, possibly present, 3, definitely absent. And when we're, I'll share this tab whenever we're going through the 30 seconds. That way you guys can see and look at the at this a little better. I wish I could split my screens, but I can't. I can't do that. And I cannot learn OBS unless someone can teach me. I have it and I look at it like Streamlabs and I'm like, what? It just looks so hard to me. So if anyone knows anybody that knows someone, let me know. Because I don't know how to do it. Okay, so the first one is glibness, superficial charm. And it says that refers to smooth, fluent, and engaging conversational or behavioral skills that lack genuine depth, sincerity, or emotional connection, and are used primarily for self-serving purposes, such as manipulation or deceit. This type of charm is characterized by effortless delivery, flattery, and the ability to say what others want to hear, but it is a performance designed to gain trust or exploit others for personal gain rather than an expression of authentic warmth or empathy. Okay, I could even try to give you guys a couple of examples. One would be, maybe his conversations at the school, trapping people into the school, trying to or into the brooms. But then it says, but it's a performance designed to gain trust or exploit others. And it says what others want to hear. I don't know if that's Kohberger's or not. So we're going to go back over here and I'll even read it again. So it refers to smooth, fluent, and engaging conversational or behavioral skills that lack genuine depth, sincerity, or emotional connection and are used primarily for self-serving purposes, such as manipulation or deceit. Okay. Now you'll put a 1 in the chat if you think it's definitely present, a 2, possibly present, 3, definitely absent. So yes, maybe, no. And then I'll start the timer. Oh wait, I just did it for 20 minutes. How did that happen? Cancel. Oh, it's because well, I don't know why I did that. Okay, now it's starting. 30 seconds. 30 seconds is pretty long. And then I've got to see which ones you guys do. Yeah, I know some of them, it's like, so I guess it could be possibly present. Oh, that was 30 seconds. Wow. That was pretty quick, actually. Okay. BK is not charming or smooth. Okay, so I think it was 3 that most of you guys did. So, previous diagnosis as a psychopath or similar, we don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and put definitely absent on that one. Is that okay with you guys? Because I don't think he was previously diagnosed. Then egocentricity / grandiose sense of self-worth is the next one. And I put for, number 2, self-explanatory. So a grandiose sense of self-importance is an unrealistic belief in one's own superiority, talents, and achievements, often leading to arrogance and a sense of entitlement, and is a core component of narcissistic personality traits and narcissistic personality disorder. Egocentricity is the tendency to see oneself as the center of all things, to emphasize one's own needs and perspective above all others, and is related but broader concept encompassing, couldn't get the word out, the belief that everything was meant for oneself. So basically me. That, like, all this was done for me. So, okay, now we'll start the clock again, and I'll take you back to the other screen so you can see if you need to read it. It's number 3. 1 for definitely present, 2 for possibly present, 3 for definitely absent. I like this. We're doing a little experiment. See what everyone gets. It looks like more on 1 on that one. Hey, Tom. Hey, Nathaniel. Oh, look at that. What was that, ones? Okay. And then it'll add it up for us at the end too. So, I mean, I could add it up, obviously, probably, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I can. I don't know what the 1, 2, I don't know what those mean, actually. So then we are on number 4, and it is prone to boredom, low frustration tolerance. My dog is scratching out of bed. You comfortable? She's getting there. Proneness to boredom is a personality trait where a person frequently experiences and cannot tolerate feelings of boredom, leading to restlessness, a desire to escape dull situations, and potential negative behaviors like procrastination or risk-taking. Low frustration tolerance is the inability to cope with discomfort or stress, often stemming from negative past experiences or a lack of developed coping skills. And then we'll start it, and I'll take you back over here. So it's number 4. You'll put 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. 1 for definitely present, 2 for possibly, 3 for definitely. Oops, I need to go back there. Oh, that's okay, Lenora. We're just basically going over the, so I'm just giving you guys like the definitions. And if you think that relates to like Bryan Kohberger, if you think that could relate to Bryan Kohberger, then you'll put a 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. And then I'll go back over to that little checklist for you guys too. But I love that, like, you could always just guess too. Oh, that's okay. So we've got a couple 2s. Okay, we're gonna go with 2 for that one. Put them in the middle. Wait, which one right here? Okay. Pathological lying and deception. And yeah, I made one for that, even though I think everyone knows what that is. But pathological lying is a compulsive pattern of habitual deception characterized by frequent, detailed, and often self-harming false statements without clear external benefit. Basically, just lying to lie. Like, you can't help it. You have to lie. And then we'll go back over, and then I'll hit the start. So you'll put 1 for definitely present, 2 for possibly present, 3 for definitely absent. And I don't have my doctorate, but I do have my bachelor in criminal justice, that is, and applied science. So, that's not too bad. But I'm not a doctor, so. Okay. Let's go over here. 1. Yeah, 1 is for like a lot like BK, yeah. And then 2 would be like maybe, and then 3 would be like no. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. So is that one, are we doing 1 for that one? It looks like it. Okay. And then the next one is cunning, lack of sincerity. That's down here. Refers to the lack of sincerity where someone uses deceit, manipulation, and charm to exploit others for personal gain, betraying their trust and often showing a lack of empathy or remorse. So, do you think that it would be 1 for yes, like 2 for maybe, 3 for no? If you think that it says it refers to the lack of sincerity where someone uses deceit, manipulation, and charm to exploit others for personal gain, betraying their trust and often showing a lack of empathy or remorse. I'd say he did that in that house that night when he said, "It's okay, I'm here to help you." Like, hey, Cheryl. Because, yeah, I would say a 1 on that one. You after utility companies, that's funny. I know, why do they name them after people? I think there was supposed to be a Hurricane Tanya out there a long time ago. She probably didn't come or something that year. That was probably the one year it was like dry everywhere. That would be me. Okay, so then the next one is, oh wait, I didn't get that one, did I? We didn't want, we're doing 1 on this, right? Yeah. And then lack of remorse or guilt is the next one. And it's just pretty much, what that means. Absent of regret or shame for one's harmful actions. Hey, hopefully you're having a good day today, Cheryl. So if you guys are just now coming in, you're like, what are they doing? I want to do it. What are they doing? I'm gonna put 1 for that because I think that one we're doing 1. Basically, we're going over the psychological exam for Bryan Kohberger. It's to test for psychopathy, like if you're, or psychopathy, if you are, supposedly a psychopath. This is the test that they use. It's the Hare Psychopathy Test Checklist, and that's what we're going through. So I'm reading, and we haven't even been doing we didn't do the timer that time. I'm going through and I'm reading like the definitions of, what the terms are. And then you guys are putting a 1 in the chat for if you think that is Bryan Kohberger, sounds like him, a 2 if maybe not, and then a 3 if no. So that's the way it makes it a little easier. The next one is lack of affect and emotional depth. Okay, I want to make sure we were on the right one. A lack of affect and emotional depth refers to conditions like flat affect or emotional blunting, where a person shows reduced emotional expression despite likely feeling emotions internally. So 1 for yes, 2 for no, 3 for, I'm sorry, 1 for yes, 2 for maybe, 3 for no. Oh, my cat's in here. I didn't even know he was in here. And it's just the lack of affect and emotional depth. Shows reduced emotional expression despite feeling emotions internally. Yeah, I'd say 1, 2. I would say that. I'd say that might be what they maybe, I don't know. Because I remember Anne saying that, about the autism and stuff, but she said that if they brought that in, maybe something like people would look at him differently or something along those lines. Now I'm wondering if that's what it was. Do you want to go out there? Cat's looking at me. Okay. I'm going to let him out the door really quick. Hold on. I had to pick him up. Okay, did we get that last one? Was the last one a 1? think it was. Lack of empathy. Was that the one we were on? No, we are now though. So I'll leave it there, but because we did the last one as a 1. So we'll leave it there and then we'll move it if we need to. So lack of empathy. Callousness is a lack of empathy and concern for others, which are core aspects of callous, unemotional traits. These traits manifest as shallow emotions, lack of guilt, indifference to others' distress, and can be a significant risk factor for severe conduct problems and adult antisocial personality disorder. Okay. 1 for yes, 2 for maybe, 3 for no. I wish I could oh wait, here, let me switch between the screens. I wish I could add these 2 screens together. That'd be nice. I bet there's a way for me to do that. I bet there's a way. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Oh. I'm dating a creepy guy I found off an app. He's not really creepy, but I did find him off an app. I mean, he was on an app. He was. But he wasn't creepy. He was actually the cutest little thing I ever saw in my life. I'm like, this guy's like just the sweetest. Okay, so we're gonna keep that one in 1. And then parasitic lifestyle. Let me take us back over here. A parasitic lifestyle describes a pattern of taking from others without giving back, leading to financial or emotional dependence and a lack of personal responsibility or remorse. I mean, I don't know. That could be. I mean, that could be Bryan. Like, I was thinking when he was at school, like the financial, they were financially helping him and he wasn't giving back like he should have been. He wasn't doing his teacher duties. And it says lack of personal responsibility. So I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, like a maybe. Okay, we'll do that as a 2. Oh. Okay. So then short-tempered, poor behavioral controls. Short-tempered describes someone quick to anger, while poor behavioral controls refers to a struggle to regulate impulses, emotions, and behaviors, often leading to destructive actions. Poor behavioral controls result in poor self-control with a tendency for impulsive actions and difficulty managing frustrations or criticism. So then it'll be 1 for yes, 2 for maybe, 3 for no. I'm just laughing at you guys. Okay, so it looks like it's like okay, so we're doing looks like 1. Now, promiscuous sexual relations, we don't really know. I'm going to say definitely absent because I'm going to say probably wasn't having any at all. But see, I don't know how that would really there's a couple questions like that. And I wonder how you would take those questions out of the mix if that was the case, right? If it was it didn't apply. Because I think I even put that in here. Or no, I put what I meant. So then I just will put definitely absent, I guess, for that. Oh gosh, I did, Deanna. I did. I actually moved the screen today, like my Safari screen, and I didn't know that his picture was behind it. And it's the one where he has like the yellow teeth and he's all like the real scary one, like the scary smile one. And I literally was like, oh my goodness, scared myself. The next one is early behavioral problems. So it says, like frequent aggression, property damage, persistent lying, or hostility towards authority that disrupts a child's life at home and school. 1 for yes, 2 for maybe, 3 for no. Yes. Happy birthday, Cheryl's mama. Happy 75th. Wow. Go girl. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great birthday. That's a good day to have a birthday on, is a Wednesday. That is. It's like it's hump day. You can, like, if you go to work, right? Still, if you do, then you can get all your coworkers to do stuff for you, like the first 2 days because it's coming up to your birthday. The last 2 days because it's after your birthday, right? Like right after. That's what I would be doing. Yeah, of course, I can repeat it. That one was early behavioral problems or behavior problems. Early behavior problems are behaviors like frequent aggression, property damage, persistent lying, or hostility towards authority that disrupts a child's life at home and school. So 1, yes, 2, maybe, 3, no. I don't know about that one. Yeah, the big yellow teeth. Oh, whoops. Okay, so 1. And then we've got lack of realistic long-term plans. Let me get us back over here. It means that the person either doesn't plan ahead or that when they do, the plan is difficult or ridiculous to pull off. It's a lack of follow through on commitment. It's a tendency to be reckless and impulsive. It means that the person has no real goal for the future. So then we go, it'll be 1 for yes, 2 for maybe, 3 for no. And then I'll start the 1 on that one. Okay. Impulsivity, the tendency to act quickly and without forethought, often leading to decisions or actions with potentially negative consequences. Probably say yeah for that one. And that's awesome that it's your mom's birthday tomorrow. You get to spend with her. Hopefully you get to spend the day with her. Okay, so we'll go with 1 with that one. Everyone think 1? Are we thinking 1? I'm thinking 1. Thinking he acted a little impulsive. Irresponsible behavior as a parent. So that was another one. So we're going to have to say definitely absent because we don't know. I mean, he's not a parent. Frequent marital relationships. Well, we're going to say no because he didn't have any marital relationships. Now, juvenile delinquency. It refers to illegal or antisocial behavior committed by a minor who has not reached the age of legal adulthood, which is typically 18 years old in most jurisdictions. Now we know he did, steal from his sister that one time. So I'm thinking he did more than that. So let's see. What do we? Okay, we were at the right one. Okay. Did you send him that card, Ozzy? Ozzy says, I didn't send him that card. I would have known it. It would have been on blasted all over the internet. We go in the back door to Bryan's. We know people that know people that know people that don't know Bryan. Okay, what's the question? Okay, so the next one was juvenile delinquency. 1 for yes, 2 for no, maybe 3 for no. Well, I'm gonna say yes. We'll put him probably 1, right? I've sent him nothing. I want to send him a little note. Actually, I want to send it to Peru. We'll give it 18 seconds. Okay. So then the next one is poor probation or parole risk. So what that means, increased likelihood that an individual fail to comply with the terms of their supervision and may reoffend. Good thing he didn't get no supervision, but yeah, he was a thief and then he burglarized a house. Gosh, like growing up, I wonder if he thought that was what his life was going to be. I'm going to move to Washington and not make a name for myself being a doctor. And it's so sad. His dad was going around like telling people, like calling him Dr. Kohberger and stuff. Like, my son's going to be a doctor. And like, shit. Son became a murderer. I feel bad for his parents, but it's like, damn, did you not see any of the signs? Did you not see any signs at all? We're over here taking a test over here. It's probably going to say he's a psychopath. And if it does, I'm going to send it to him. Failure to accept responsibility for own actions. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but it says failure to accept responsibility for one's actions, also known as denial of responsibility or blame shifting, involves refusing to acknowledge one's mistakes, faults, or misjudgments by blaming others, making excuses, or using deflection. Yeah, that's a 1. I think we can all agree with that one. I probably didn't have to read that one to you. And this is many types of offense. Where's that? Oh, and that just means, and he has many types of offenses. He doesn't have really, well, I don't know. He has we know of 2, I don't know of any more than that, but he does have more than 1. Oh yeah. All of the cop cams because he got pulled over just in general. So I guess that would be probably a 1. I didn't even think about that. Because of all the times he was pulled over, and they were for different offenses. They were all for something different. That was a short-lived dream, wasn't it? Yeah, Dion. Well, in PA, we don't have crosswalks. I know. Oh, I wish you get shirts that say that. But wherever you guys live, I could put that, you know what I mean? Oh, in Kansas, we don't have crosswalks. Or in California, we don't have because everywhere has crosswalks. Come on. Okay, the last one. Drug or alcohol abuse, not direct cause of antisocial behavior. He did drug. I don't know if he drank. I'd say he probably drank if he was drugging. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes if you do drugs, you don't drink. You know what I mean? Some people are just one or the other. They're like, I'm just over here doing my smoke or whatever, I've never seen anyone on the stuff that he's on, but good thing. Well, he was on. He'll never be on again. Okay, so we're going to score these answers. This better work. Okay, make sure we all know. I should write these all down. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a picture of it. Okay, there we go. Take a picture of it. Okay, score my answers. Oh, look at this. 32 out of 44. Now we need to know, chat with a licensed therapist. No. It says, while there's no specific cutoff, higher scores indicate a greater likelihood. So let's see. I'm going to put the score in. 32. I mean, that's pretty high. I want to read the whole book. Evaluating the screening. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, so greater than. Oh my goodness. It's yeah, that's too much. Okay. This is scored out of 40 points. A score of 30 or higher is widely considered the threshold for a diagnosis of psychopathy. Though some sources cite 25 or 26 as a cutoff in different contexts. Individuals with high scores are more likely to exhibit traits such as low empathy, a lack of remorse or guilt, impulsivity, and a propensity for criminal behavior. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, that sounds like Kohberger. We're not telling you you are a psychopath, Kohberger. But those eyeballs that were just like staring off into space in the court, and then every once in a while you'd see a smile. Every once in a while you did. I got pictures. That's probably that's probably not autism. Like, you know what I mean? That's probably. I mean, I'm no doctor, but tonight I am. Dr. Titanium built. Hare Psychopathy Extraordinaire. Oh, I actually had this here too. It says a score above 30 qualifies a person for a diagnosis. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in here. No, there's not. Well, look at that. We did it. It only took us a couple weeks, but we did it. And me, like, I was trying to do that stuff for those the little things for you. That took me forever to do. I was like trying to hurry up. I was like, I gotta get this done before Vincent gets home with the food. I was like, because I'm gonna eat, and then I'll be like, my brain will like, be like, you're not working anymore right now. But we got it done. So it looks like, we received compensation from BetterHelp. Well, we could chat with a licensed therapist. Just be like, we just want to send your Bryan Kohberger's information to you. I'm just kidding. Yeah, social drinking could be. Hey, Mandy. That's like a 73%. Yeah, he might. Yeah, he probably did. I know that he did, we all know he did drugs. I'm sure he maybe had drinks too. I know that he did, like, at a wedding once. He had, like, I think he had something in his hand. Arnez, the girl, or Arts was her last name, not Arnez, Arts. I can't think of her first name, but Casey Arts, or whatever her last name was. She said that she had seen him at, like, I think a wedding or something, and he was drinking. Maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah. And we saw that picture of him in the car where like he's in the back seat. You can barely see him, but he looks like he's kind of toasty and not like on drugs toasty, like he'd been drinking. And then he went to the pool party, but I don't know if he drank or did anything there, right? I mean, yeah, maybe he can use his tablet time to speak with people with better health. Maybe. He probably wouldn't want to. He's probably already saying that, he's made right with the Lord. He gets out of his cell if he does that, for, 1 day or 1 hour, I think an extra hour a week. So he'll definitely be doing that. And then he'll want to get his tablet time in. So he'll be definitely doing that. Trying to think of all the things that he could do while he's in there. Yeah, you're going to be stuck in there 23 hours a day. All because you thought you had to be someone big. Well, you're not big anywhere but the jail. And I don't even think they're going to care too much about you once you get up there. Peru's going to be waiting on you. Can you imagine if we hear in just here in a few months or whatever, we're going to be going on with ourselves and we're going to hear Peru done got to Kohberger. He can work on his penmanship. He could. That's what he should do. That's what he should spend the rest of his life doing. Do you ever notice, though, that the criminals actually, they could spell good because they have to. Like, they have to know how to spell words. They usually have pretty good penmanship. Who's Candace? Oh, let's look up somebody, actually. Whatever happened to our friend William 127? Did he just give up on this whole case? Yeah, I think he did. Yep, 4 months ago. Don't worry, William. I'm keeping my eye out for you. I don't think anyone. Oh, look, 1 month ago. Bro, where are you? Everything is so one-sided now. What do you mean one-sided? He admit. Did we do that? Did we force him to do that? No, never. Oh, we could buy him a toddler book. Maybe you could teach him like cursive and, regular handwriting. English handwriting, I should say. There's actually a new book out for the Idaho. It's not the new. It's been out, but for Idaho, the Idaho murders. I don't know where I don't remember where I even saw it. I think it was Amazon or something. And I'm like, are we kidding? But it was a book that just came out recently. I think after the crime. But I don't know. There she is. There's Ashley. Good night, Ashley. Hello, Ashley. If you guys didn't watch the live from earlier, it was pretty good. We went over the whole the updates in the David situation, and we heard Celeste for the first time. Heard her yelling. Actually, we've heard her once before on the Twitch stream, but you could tell that it is the same person on the Twitch stream as it is in that yelling video at her house. And then also, we went over one of her old boyfriends came forward, and he was 15 now or something, her age. And he came forward and spoke. And then I saw something else. I was going to do a video. Oh, the cops rushed up to his parents' house in Texas, guns blazing, because somebody called in and said that there was a woman there screaming and there was someone dead. Someone swatted them. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. His parents don't deserve that. Don't do that to them. He wasn't even there, but his younger sister and younger brother were, and I don't know how old they are, but if they're younger than 20, that's young. I don't do that. Don't swat people. That's just so wrong. That is, I mean, we do not use police resources for that. Yeah, they got swatted. Yeah. I was watching the video earlier and I was like, well, hot damn. I was like, well, look at that. Because I was going to go over the David case tonight, but I was like, there's only like 2 things out, or like 1 thing out really, because we went over the other thing today. And so then I was like, well, shut out these tabs because, like, I'm trying to close out some of my tabs, which we're doing a good job. I am going to put on, it's so good. It looks so good anyway. We watched the episode or the preview for the Ellen Greenberg. It's on Hulu. I got Hulu today for it. I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's something about an apartment. I forget the apartment number, but that's what it says. Let me see. Death in apartment 603. What happened to Ellen Greenberg? And I'll have one of those episodes up tomorrow for you guys on the Patreon. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait to watch it. I'm excited. So I'll have that out. But thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you so much. Ozzy and She Fell in Love kept us, occupied in the chat. But if you guys need me, you know where to find me. I mean, you email me. Email me if you need me. If it's important, email me twice because that means I didn't get the first one. Also, I did look up for court dates. They haven't got back to me yet for Ivory Carson and Jordan Willis for the guys in Kansas, the Chiefs fans that died in Missouri. So they should get back to me anytime. And then I also am putting in another FOIA for Madalena Kojikari's case because you never know what you'll get with a second FOIA. You never know. Maybe we'll get some jail calls. Maybe we'll get something from her mom. I don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try my hardest. And what else did I do? I think I did something else, but I can't remember. So just make sure you're keeping your eye on the channel. I do have some, things coming up for us, all that good stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and close out these tabs because we're about done. And it's going to feel good to get those all out of here. So thank you guys again for being here. If you guys don't mind, take a second, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on a replay, comment replay. If you're watching it on this one, hype the video after you're done. If you guys would love to, I would love for you to do that. It helps get me into the algorithm even more. You just go through and you like you're going to go over to the comment section and you can hype the video. So thanks so much. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Bye guys.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to live this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up. Tonight, we're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight, we're gonna light it up. Just like the sunrise, we're gonna light it up. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We